7 p.m. here in Ventnor, New Jersey, and this is Saturday night with your hosts Ray and Zach on the. Are we on the main channel, the CarEdge channel, the BC, the big channel? Well, it's so good to be here. How the heck are you tonight, handsome?
I'm doing well, Pops. I'm excited for tonight's show. Thank you for joining me. As always, I like the green and red. Very festive for
Well,
this
yeah,
video.
it's not Easter colors. I apologize, but happy Easter to all those who celebrate. These are more like Christmas colors, but I wanted to wear a zip-up hoodie today, so
You look good, Dad. You look good.
yes.
Here's the deal. Tonight we are going to be taking phone calls. All right. We haven't done this
Okay.
in a while. Before we do, we'll open up the phone lines in a couple minutes here. Before we do, Dad, there's a little bit of automotive news that's worth talking about. You shared with me we've got Q1 numbers before the show. All sorts of folks are interested in what's going on there. It looks like the auto market's, it's going great. Everything's good. No problems, no issues. But then you dig in. What is going on, man? Fleet sales. That seems to be the thing.
Apparently, yeah. Fleets don't fail me now. Yeah, it seems as if there is more than enough inventory to be able to satisfy some major fleet uh, sales in this country for most of the manufacturers, if not all the manufacturers. So, oh my God, is that a ringing phone I hear?
All right. I hate to have done that to you, but that is what's going to happen tonight during the show. When I put the number on the screen here in just a second, you got to be prepared for that, Pops. And everyone that's joining us tonight, you got to be prepared for it as well. So sorry about that, but that's what's going to happen. Let me put it up on the screen now so that everyone knows the number that you can call us at is 203-548-0921. Let's talk about fleet sales. Let's talk
Yep.
about your car deals. Let's just do whatever the heck we can to have some fun on a Saturday night. How's that sound?
Well, that's always my plan on a Saturday night. Yes, yes, and I know you called me earlier today, and you said, "Gee, I just don't know that. Give me a reason to do this." And I said, "There's people hanging on your every word. They depend on
I
you
hope
for a
not.
fun Saturday night, and think of how you would disappoint these folks if we didn't show up in YouTube land." And here we are. And
Here we
Michael
are.
Dixon
That's
just got ripped off for $3,400 on an alleged new engine. Maybe we need to talk about that.
Michael, give us a call. Let's hear that story and see if we can figure out what happened there. I will say, Dad, we launched today the dealer reviews. So if you
Yes.
also, Michael, if you can go share a review over on CarEdge.com, we now have the dealer reviews over there. So it'd be very important that you put a review for that dealership. Dad, let's start here, though. We're waiting for a phone call to come in, but let's jump to Maria's question. Time to buy a car now. I was tempted for tonight's stream to be wait 53 days because last week we said wait 60 days. So we had the
Yeah.
Edmunds data last week. Things
Yeah.
are looking good though for the team Zach and Car Questions answered team Brandon. It looks like I think on the new car side we are impending price drops. At least we're already starting to see it with those full size pickup trucks and more. And we even have here someone Jose asking about Mazda CX-5s. We're seeing good deals on Mazda CX-5s. And that's actually my answer to this question, Jose. You're going to get a better deal on the CX-5 than the Honda. So I do think, Dad, we are starting to see some pressure and a justification for why prices will go down.
I think maybe I don't think they're going to go down to any great degree, but any drop in prices is a step in the right direction. I believed I sent you an article today about Stellantis and their desire to go more into the EV space, and how they're holding back on incentives because, well, they need their internal combustion engine divisions to underwrite the cost of becoming an EV player. So there's a company that has had inventories build up, but yet they don't want to necessarily dip into the incentive bucket at the moment because they need that money to support moving towards EVs. So there's a situation where we know they're sitting on a lot of inventory. They've admitted that sales were off on the Ram side of things. I think it
Yeah.
was 9%. On the Jeep side of things, they were off 20%, and yet they're not all that interested in cutting into their margins by increasing the incentives because they need those margins to finance their plan moved into EVs. So, are we nice hair? Are we really? Nobody has perfected the I just rolled out of bed look better than you, and you've perfected it even at 7:05 in the evening, which is pretty damn amazing. But when you see a company like Stellantis taking the position that they're taking, are we really going to see that decline that we would normally associate with rising inventories? And I'm not certain that we are.
Yeah, I hear you. We do have some interesting questions coming through in the chat. And again, if you want to call in tonight, 203-548-0921. So, Pops, we've got from Chris asking us, would we ever
Thank you,
consider
Chris.
power sports? Thank you for that, Chris. We do have data. One of our partners has data on power sports, but I don't think either of us, I don't have any expertise there. I know you maybe peripherally have some, but probably
Really?
not.
No, I have none. Power sports being like ATVs, um, boats. No. You know me. I have a fear of boats. No, I really,
Yeah.
I really don't know anything about power sports. Now that doesn't mean that we couldn't learn and we couldn't try
We
and
should just
partner with
find
some
someone who is
people.
an expert there, Dad.
Yes, exactly. That we couldn't partner with somebody that actually has the expertise. So maybe
Yeah,
we can
I think
look
that's
into that in the
probably what it
future. But my suggestion would be is we perfect what we're trying to do for cars and trucks before we move into power sports.
All right, you are on with CarEdge, my dad and myself. What's your name? Where you at? And how can we help out tonight?
Hi. Hey, my name's Tom. I've been watching you guys now for about a month and really very impressed with your knowledge and the great information you're passing out.
Well, thank you, Tom. How
I'm
can
up
we help
in
you
the,
tonight?
pardon me, say it again?
I said thank you so much, Tom. How can we help you tonight?
Oh, well, my question is, I'm in northwestern California, and I really would like to get a Toyota Prius Prime, the new version, or a RAV4 with the plug-in variant. And I'm probably asking, from what I'm assuming is about as popular of a car as I can see, I see additional markups of up to $20,000 on advertised sites. And I guess my question would be, I've got an older Prius that could use a little bit of work. I'm probably better. I think I'm going to have to wait a long time because I just do not want to spend the extra $6,000 or $20,000. I think it's just horrible what they're doing. Do you have any take on that would be beneficial to me, or should I just be patient? I'm not desperate for a new car, but would like to get one.
I believe patience is the key. We had Marcello on from Toyota up in Canada, and there's just a shortage of the two vehicles that you mentioned. Very very hard for dealers to get their hands on them. Most of them are pre-sold before they arrive. So the old axiom of supply and demand, when supply is low and demand is high, if you really want it, you're going to have to overpay. And I would never recommend that anybody overpay for anything like that. Uh, and it seems probably to be worse in your state than in some of the other states. So perhaps you need to spend just a few dollars on your existing Prius and ride things out a little bit longer. My supposition would be probably a year or so, maybe a year and a half before we really start to see any inventory build up in those vehicles that you mentioned.
Okay. I appreciate that information because I'm not driving myself crazy, but I'm spending a lot of time looking and stopping in at the local dealer, and I think that's very helpful. I think that's what I'll do.
If unless you want to just give me like $10,000 just to give me 10 grand, I don't think it makes sense to pay a premium to get into one of those vehicles at this time. You'll never get that money back.
And Tom, we've got one of our
Yeah,
car
that's
coaches
what I'm
with
concerned
us
with.
tonight.
And
Uh,
I
Justice in
don't
the
know
chat.
why they're not making them faster than they seem to be. Why aren't they more available?
That's a wonderful question, and one that we don't have an answer for. Obviously, they've found the chips and the production capabilities on the Lexus side of things, but there seems to be a shortage on the Toyota side of things. It's probably just a corporate decision that they've made.
We're gonna jump, Tom,
And
to the
not to
next caller.
hog
Thanks for
the time on the telephone, but it just seems like what you guys have said about the entry level vehicles as being almost impossible to. I mean, all I see in the pipeline are these really pricey ones. And I'm not going to forget this when this all passes. I've got cash, but I'm not going to pay $50,000, or actually $55,000 for a RAV4 Prime or whatever they call it, when I just don't have to. And so a year and a half, 2 years from now, I'm going to find someone else to buy it from.
Just take your time and be patient and give it. My guess is, like I said, about a year and a half, and you'll probably find yourself in a better position to be able to get one of those two vehicles. Thanks so much for calling tonight, Tom.
Thank you guys very much, and again, really appreciate you.
Yep. Have a great night.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was fantastic. Thank you, Tom. Oh, here we go. Hello, you're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? And how can we help?
My name's Trent, and I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And I want to get a 2024 Jeep Rubicon 4xe. And I know don't buy it, until the build sheet and the pricing comes out. But if I buy one off a build sheet or get a price off a build sheet, will the dealer raise that up, or is that a pretty firm thing, or what are your guys' opinions?
I don't know how Jeep works. I know with some of the brands that I worked with in the past, they would pass on any price increases to when the vehicle was built. So if you were to order it based off today's pricing off of their build sheet, and it doesn't get built, say, for 6 months, and they've had an increase in the wholesale and retail values of that, they typically charge the dealer whatever was in effect at the time that it was built. But I don't know how Jeep does it. They very well might lock in the price. If you want to order one, please make sure you get an agreement on a price as to what you're going to pay for it prior to leaving a deposit. And also make sure that your deposit is refundable if they can't deliver it in a reasonable amount of time, or if you decide that you just want to move in a different direction.
Fantastic. I thank you guys more than you could ever imagine. Thank you for being there.
Well, thank you for calling in tonight, and have a great night.
And you too. Bye-bye.
Hey, you're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? How can we help?
What's up, guys? My name is Kevin. I'm in California right now. I'm not originally from Texas. I'm stationed out here because I'm in the U.S. military. My question is, I'm trying to get a RAV4, and I just went to Toyota dealership yesterday, and I told them, and I was stern on hey, I'm from Texas, and I'm registering this vehicle in Texas because, I'm not from here. They went around to give me the whole rigmarole, no, well, if you finance with us, you have to pay California sales tax. Everything I've searched up is, as Texas, being from Texas, out of state, I'm able to pay Texas sales tax. I'm asking you guys because you have a lot more experience, and what I find on Google is what I find on Google, right? Where do I actually pay my sales tax? and how should I go about dealing with this dealership on, hey, pay our sales tax, but I don't want to pay your sales tax?
I believe when you're in the military, you pay everything based on your home of record, where the vehicle is going to be registered. If your home of record is in Texas, then I believe that's the way it works for military personnel. I believe you would be paying Texas taxes and not California taxes, but you would have to double check with the state of California Department of Motor Vehicle, and I'm sure they probably have information like that on their website regarding military purchases.
Okay, so how do you suggest I go about with like dealing with this dealership? Because they're like, oh, if you finance with us, pay California sales taxes. Should I just whip it out? And I was like, well, I can't, or just find a different dealership.
Well, you always have to be careful if you're just going to whip it out. But but having said that, yeah, I mean, I am sure you were not the first military personnel person to have ever purchased a car from them. And if you need to share with them what the rules and regulations are regarding selling vehicles to people that are currently active duty in the military, I do believe you get to register the vehicle in your home of record, which in your case is going to be Texas. They can set up the taxes and everything for Texas, even if you were to finance it. So and like I said, I would just double check. Go to the Department of Motor Vehicles for the state of California and see if they have anything listed, anything published for military personnel purchasing a vehicle in California when their home of record is a different state.
Okay, well, thanks, guys. Thanks for everything y'all do. And honestly, this is technically the first vehicle I'm buying, like through myself, and you guys have been a world of help with just what is an out the door price and actually not just going in there and like looking like an idiot. Because thanks to you guys, I'll go in there and not pretend, but ask them like, hey, I'm looking for this specific RAV4, and they're like, oh, well, we have this, and I'm like, well, I don't want that, and they're like, oh, it's your lucky day, I just found this, and I tell them to his face, oh, lucky me. I'm extremely sarcastic because thanks to you guys, I know their whole trick's like, oh, we just magically found a RAV4 that fits your bill.
Well, hopefully they do, and just like I say, double check with the state of Texas, double check with the state of California as to how it works for active duty military. Look at that,
Okay,
Zach already put a link in the chat for tonight, so you'll be able to double check right there.
Okay, I'm seeing it. Thanks, guys.
Yep, thank you. Have a great night.
Nicely done, Pops.
Well, I don't. My God, the phone's never going to stop ringing.
Hey, you're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? How can we help?
Wow, that was cute. Thank you so much for sharing. There's somebody that whipped it out right there.
Dad, no.
What?
Why? Hello, you're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? How can we help?
My name is Ted, first-time caller, long-time listener. Hello, guys.
Ted. Love that. Thank you.
I'm from Northern California. Sorry about that, but I'm trying to acquire this car. It's a 2014 Toyota Venza, and the dealer does not want to bargain. And the difference between me purchasing this car is about $1,000, and I'm torn between me, coming up to his price versus him coming down to mine. He will not budge so far. And I've been dealing with this person for about, let's say a month, back and forth. What would your suggestion be to acquire this vehicle?
Who are you dealing with at the at the dealership?
It's actually a used car. Who am I dealing with?
At the used car. Pardon me?
Is it just a used car?
Okay. Is it just a salesperson, or is it one of the managers or the owner of the used car lot?
I would assume that it is. I'd be assuming. I really don't know.
Okay. Um, if it's just a salesperson, you might want to ask if you could have a chat with his boss, with his manager if he has a manager, or have a chat with the owner of the used car lot if he's available. Sometimes you just have to go up the chain of command until you can find somebody that's at least willing to work with you. It doesn't mean that they're going to come down and meet your price, but if they've been firm in the price, maybe the owner would say, "Hey, if I take $250 off, we weren't going to take anything off. Would that get us to a deal?" But you have to move up the chain of command. That would be my suggestion.
Very good. Very good. I'll take your advice.
Let us know how you make out.
I certainly will. Thanks a lot, guys.
Terrific. Thank you, Ted. Have a great evening.
You too.
All right, Pops, take a breather. Hey, you're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? How can we help?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. My name is Drew. I'm from Ohio. And I have to say that I'm going to be a first-time car buyer, so I've been watching your videos religiously, and I feel a lot more confident now. So I really appreciate that.
Well, we like hearing that, and glad we could help in some small way. How can we help you tonight, Drew?
Sure. So I'm going to be a first-time car buyer in June, and I'm looking at getting an Audi. And I wanted some advice on the strategy that I put together for purchasing the car. I'm considering, so the MSRP is about 56. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of negotiability from the research that I've done. And what I'm considering doing is calling the 10 closest dealerships to me, going over their fees, telling them, hey, I'm willing to pay 54, and then kind of leaving it at that. And then hopefully somebody calls me back eventually and accepts that offer. What's your thoughts on that?
What type of Audi is it?
It's going to be an A5 S-Line Premium Plus.
Well, there should be. I'm guessing there's probably about $5,000 or $6,000 of profit built into that vehicle, and I don't. I think Audi sales were up last month, if I remember correctly. Looking at the numbers, and I believe their sales were up significantly. I'm not sure if there's a tremendous amount of incentives. Will you be a recent college graduate within the last year or so?
Like 2-3 years ago.
That's probably too long ago, because most of the manufacturers have recent college graduate programs for somebody that's either just graduating or has graduated in the last year. Will you be financing through them?
I'll be financing. I'm going to go to a credit union or a bank and come in with some offers, like financing offers already, but I would try to finance through them. Yeah.
Well, I think the approach that you want to use of knowing that the vehicle you're interested in has an MSRP of around 56,000, and that you're looking to buy it for like 54, is that 54 plus fees or 54 including everything? I don't think you're going to get it for 54 including.
Yeah, it'd be 54 plus fees is what I was thinking.
My suggestion is that you would let the dealers know which car you're interested in, that you understand that the MSRP is $56,000, and that you're looking to pay less than that, and you have a number in mind, and you want to know who can get to that number. Now, I don't know that I would tell them the number you have in mind is 54. I might tell them less to see where that somebody might counter your. You might want to tell them 52.5 or 53 and see what they come back with. But yeah, I don't think in today's world it would be a real issue if you were to contact 10 dealers and say, here's the car, it's got an MSRP of 56. I'm prepared to pay 53 or 52.5. Um, can you do that? And it's 52.5 plus fees, and I need to break out of what all your fees would be so I can compare it to the other dealers.
Okay, if I purchase a car in a different state, are there any additional fees or anything that I should be aware of?
They're typically they're not. I mean, if you're going to finance it, they can help you with doing the paperwork that you're going to need, and most of them have the ability to do the titling and registration for whatever state that it is that you're going to register the vehicle. So please be sure when you email them to list what your zip code is, so that they can figure out the proper tax rates and things like that. So when they want to give you when they give you the fees, they can give you the correct fees.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank
And
you. I really appreciate it.
and Drew, there was what was it that Space had put in the chat, Zach?
Yeah, Drew, we've got quite a few of the car coaches here live with us tonight, and we're talking about Space is talking about the Audi affiliate program that gets you about 6% off of MSRP, and he even dropped a link in the chat. And there's a lot of folks saying 6% is the number off MSRP for an Audi. So please,
wow,
please go
okay.
look back in the chat. And if you don't find it there, go post on the community forum after the show, and we can definitely follow up with you there.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Drew. Good luck to you, my friend.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You ready?
No, turn that damn phone off.
You're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? How can we help?
Hi guys, this is Omar from Orange County. I just came across your content recently, and I'm really digging what you guys produce. I appreciate it. I'll go
Thank you,
straight
Omar.
to the
If you
point.
can't speak up a little bit, please, for us. Thank you.
How about now? You guys hear me better now?
Much.
Better. Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm currently in the market for a 2018 Lexus LS500. And the thing is, in Orange County, most of the dealerships are not willing to budge. So I have to look at like either North California or outside of California in general for other states. And the thing is, most that are in the Midwest to West Coast, they're pricing it around like 48K, give or take on average, depending on the mileage. Now the thing is, I'm still trying to do my due diligence, and I don't even know what a good base point or base price or average price I should be hitting for. Like, they're going for 48 at the dealership. I'm thinking, can I get for 45? Am I being too aggressive, or I'm not really sure. I'm not armed with information. It's hard to come by.
Zach, you can handle this one, because I think if it were me, I would tell them to go to our buy feature on our website.
Yeah, but I was also terribly distracted, and so I was depending on you for that one, Bob.
Well, what I would suggest is, if you go to our website, www.caredge.com, and you can click on the buy tab, and you can do some research in your area as to what dealers are asking for 2018 Lexus LS500s. And then you can create like a baseline and take some of those cars that you find, and I would grab like a VIN of one of the ones that you think you could be interested in, and I would go to the sell button on our page, and then I would plug that information into the CarWiser tool we have, and see what dealers would be willing to pay for that vehicle in your area. And that way you have a baseline as to what dealers are asking for it, and you have a better understanding as to what dealers might be willing to pay for it. And from that, you can extrapolate what you think would be a fair prices to pay for it.
Okay. All right.
How did I do, son?
Very quick follow-up.
Yes.
Very quick follow-up. So in the event I do that, and let's say I start reaching for dealerships out of state, you guys typically prefer, or you guys recommend email, phone, or it's recommended I fly out to that state and stop by a dealership to try to see if I can come up with a deal with them?
Well, I think anytime you go out of state, I mean, I would start first with an email, follow it up with a phone call, and I think if you address the email to a particular person at a dealership, you could suggest to them that you would like the information by such and such a date, and if you don't get it by that date, you will be following up with them in 2 days or 3 days, whatever it is. So let them know to expect a phone call from you. I think that's the way I would handle it.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you, guys. Keep
Our
killing it.
pleasure. Thank you, Omar. Good luck to you, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna try and do this, Pops, and then I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do not disturb, and I'm gonna do continue. Okay.
Man, how many phone calls were you going to have me do in like an 8-second time frame?
We have missed 71.
Excuse me? That's all? My God, we need more of me.
We do have more of you. This is a great moment to let everyone know that if
Yes.
you like the valuable help that my dad is dishing tonight, we've built an entire business around this. I'm going to go to CarEdge.com really quick. We have an incredible team behind the scenes. You can work with our team. You sign up for CarEdge Coach, or you can join our waitlist for the CarEdge Concierge, doing about 15, 20 deals a month. And we really do have an incredible, CarEdge.com/company. We're going to go back to the phone calls in just a couple of minutes here, but we really do have an awesome mission and an awesome team. We've got Justice here with us tonight, which we greatly appreciate him being here with us. I think Mario Space is here with
Yes,
us. We
Space is
really
with-
do, gang. We have an incredible team.
We do indeed, and I can answer a lot of questions generically, and our car coaches, they can get down to a much more granular level than I do, because, well, they're helping people every day with car deals, so they know what they've been encountering on a daily basis with the different dealers that they've been in touch with our customers and with our viewers. So yeah, I can give you generic. The car coaches and the community forum can get a lot more granular than what I'm able to provide.
You totally caught me off guard there with Omar. I was like,
Well,
yeah,
I'm sorry. I mean, but that was, Omar's thing was exactly the pitch you like to give every opportunity you have. And apparently you wanted to make sure that I actually pay attention when you give that pitch, which I think I did.
all right, did you drink some water?
Well, the glass is getting lower and lower.
Do we want to do a quick hydration re-up and then come back and we'll keep going? And yeah, let this just sink in for a quick second.
Yeah.
Justice does roughly 150 deals a week himself.
Yeah.
You know our numbers back here. Let that sink in, folks. This is the superpower that we all wish we had when we went to go buy a car, and now you can't. I'm so proud of the team that we have, the incredible work that Justice, Ashley, Mario, Jerry, Kimberly, Phil, all of the team, Jennifer, everyone behind the scenes that powers this, and then the work that we're doing. Yeah, very, very, very proud of that. Shannon, thank you for being an ongoing member of our community. We really appreciate it.
And thank you for the bravo. And I'm going to step away and go grab another Pellegrino.
Yeah, you do that.
And
then when you get back, I'll get water, and then we'll keep the show going. While Pops is running to the side, I will take this moment to let everyone know that the dealer reviews, if you have bought a car in the past, year or so, please submit your information to the CarEdge Deal Data and Dealer Reviews. This was an initiative we had launched about a year ago. And then we had to take it down because we got overwhelmed. We didn't have the team behind the scenes to support it. When you submit your data here, it'll show up in the table right down below. And if you click on views right here, I know that doesn't look huge, but if you click on views, you can then filter this out. So if you want to look at just Kia dealers and folks that have worked with Kia dealers, what price they got. You'll be able to see that all in here. You can even see the salespeople that they worked with. And if they had a trade-in or anything like that, it'll also show up in the table as well. And it goes without saying that our team is going to work diligently to build a better user interface than this simple little table. But we launched this yesterday. So please, if you have bought a car recently or know someone who's bought a car, please have them submit it. CarEdge.com/data will take you directly to that page.
And if you're wondering what I'm drinking tonight, it's my San Pellegrino, blood orange and sparkling orange and blood orange beverage, and it's quite tasty. So I'm staying hydrated.
I'm going to go fill up. Can you banter for 60 seconds and I'll be right back, and then we'll open the phone lines back up?
Certainly I can.
Here, I'll give you a question you can answer. Is it worth it to spend extra money to clean up a trade-in, exterior and interior? I'll be back in 60.
Is it worth it to spend the extra money to get your car detailed prior to trading it in? Most dealerships are going to figure they have to do a detail on a vehicle anyway. So, if you bring it in and it's spotless, they might be thinking to themselves, okay, I don't have to spend this $150 or $200. Maybe they'll give you $100 more for the trade than they would have otherwise. But I would suggest most dealers are going to do a detail anyhow. So save your money, let them spend their money and get it done, because I don't think you're going to be able to get it done at the same price they will. And it'll cost you more than it would have cost them. So if you have dents and dings, you might want to take care of some of those. If you have a scratched bumper, trust me, they can spray the bumper for a lot less than you can. Don't worry about that. They're more concerned about things like tires and brakes. Don't go in there with those Italian racing tires, the Baldinis. Have at least have some decent tires on there that have some tread depth left, so that they don't have to think about spending money for tires when they're reconditioning. So I hope that helps. And then, like Justice says, they'll still charge the next guy $1,200 for reconditioning, even after you've spent the money to get it detailed. So, those are the things that you really don't have to spend money on. Let them do it themselves. Let's see what else is in the chat, since Zach just took off and he just left me here to my own devices, and God knows I can't answer the phone because I don't have the button where I'm at. So
come on.
Oh, Zach's back, and he still looks like he just rolled out of bed.
You're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? How can we help?
Hello.
Hi, my name is Mike. How you guys doing? Long time watcher.
Good, Mike. How are you tonight?
Doing good. Thank you.
I think you need to turn us down in the background, Mike.
What's that?
I said I think you need to turn us down in the background so we don't have to hear us twice.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I muted you guys on the TV.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, yes, I had a quick question. I'm trying to purchase one of the new Z06s from Chevy, but the MSRPs that I've seen are about 100,000 over MSRP. So should I wait a decent amount of time till the prices, or when they make more?
Well, I don't know. Are they ever going to make enough so that people won't be paying a premium to get them? And my suspicion is that they're not, because they've been getting a premium for these for years. And is it really worth paying an extra $7,500,000 for a vehicle just so you can say you can have one? That's a decision only you can make. Zach, you want to say something? I can tell.
Yeah, I think the C8 Z06s and some Porsche 911s, it's just there's no chance that people are ever going to get them at MSRP. The OEMs know it, the dealers know it, consumers know it. And I'm thinking, Dad, we had a community member, and I think his name was Cliff. He was sending us all these Facebook groups of folks that had reservations and allocations lined up for Z06s, and then they just got effed at the dealerships. And so we are not people to tell other people how to spend their money, although we try and influence it. I don't think I'll speak for myself, but I imagine I speak for my dad here too. Neither of us have the means nor the willingness to spend $100,000 over MSRP on anything. I actually don't even have the means to spend $100,000 on anything. So, but I think this is an intentional decision on behalf of the OEMs and the dealers. It's a little bit of a collusion going on here.
And Mike, anytime you're looking at a specialty car like this, that's always going to have high demand and always going to be in short supply, you just have to make the determination, how bad do you want it? And if ultimately you decide I want it, then bite the bullet and spend the money, because if that expenditure brings you a level of excitement and happiness that you wouldn't have had otherwise, then it's worth it. If you think to yourself, well, I don't know that anything's worth that much over, then don't.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you guys. The only reason I ask is because I know they're coming out with the new E-Ray, which is the hybrid. So I wanted to know maybe that the Z06 would actually go lower in price, since everyone is going to be focused on the new E-Ray coming out.
I don't think so.
That because of that, the C8 is going to be the one that actually, or the Z06, excuse me, is going to be the one that actually holds its value even more, because it's the last of the fully internal combustion engine. So yeah, I think unfortunately it's going to be the opposite effect. At least that's the expectation.
Okay. Would you say that a better bargain, I won't say bargain too much, but would be the C8's like 2LT or 3LT, the Stingray, not so much the Z06?
Well, they're going to have
you can
fewer
find them
markups.
for MSRP maybe about 20,000 over.
You just answered the question. Yeah, with these specialty cars, it's tough. And the only reason I'm speaking up so much is because I really do have quite a few folks that reach out to me and share these Facebook groups of people that are just so frustrated by the experience. We've got folks in the chat saying instant negative equity. And I actually think these are the types of cars where they probably won't have negative equity, because you know what? They'll be at Barrett Jackson in 15 years and they'll probably be selling for, who knows how much money. So it's really, we're talking about specialty vehicle, and as long as you don't finance it for 96 months, I think we're on, whatever decision you make, we're going to support you.
Okay, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike. Have a great night.
You too.
Yeah, man, those specialty cars. Hey, you're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? How can we help?
Hey, this is Richard. I'm in Savannah, Georgia right now. First time car buyer.
Thanks for calling in, Richard.
Sorry.
Happy to help. How can we?
So I am looking at a base trim LE Corolla, and I got a quote today for all-in price $25,669. And I'm just wondering, am I paying too much in like add-ons and fees and stuff, or is that a decent price for a base trim model?
What was the MSRP?
So the MSRP I think is around $21,500 for the baseline, but then there's a $1,000 destination charge on all Toyotas.
So you're saying the MSRP is $22,000?
Yeah, with the destination fee.
22.6, something like that. So typically you would figure that fees run about 10%. So if the MSRP is around 22.6 and you add 10% for fees, that would be another 2,600. So that would take you up to what, 25.2, somewhere in that range. And what's the out the door number that you got?
I think it was $25,669.
Sounds pretty close.
But Pops, we are in, I just want to call it out here for Richard. We are in Georgia, which means we are in Southeast Toyota distributors, or is that Gulf states? It's either Gulf states or Southeast Toyota.
That would be Southeast Toyota.
So, Richard, on the window sticker, I'd imagine there are port installed add-ons or something like that. That would be, you can't negotiate those, unfortunately. It's just stuff to understand that has been added on by the distributor. So you might see some add-on packages like that. But if you can get at MSRP on a Toyota right now, that's fine. We've seen some deals. I actually helped someone on TikTok, Dad, today. She purchased in Illinois a Camry at $1,000 below MSRP. Different market, but
Okay.
still $1,000 under MSRP is a great deal.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you, Richard. Good luck to you.
Yeah, look out
All
for
right.
the Toyo guard, Richard. But yeah, good luck.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All the best.
That should be in the MSRP already.
You're right. You're right. You're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? How can we help?
Mike, and I'm from Missouri.
Hello, Mike in Missouri.
And-
How can we help you?
Yeah. Well, I just recently placed an order for a Ram 3500 Limited Dually Mega Cab, and the build price was $109,470, and their price was $100,282.
So they
They
were
discounted
discounting it $7,000.
Just over 9,000.
Okay, over 9,000, and well, I gotta tell you, a 3,500 dually is a pretty usually a fairly well in demand truck, and usually bring all the money. I don't know if there's any Dodge incentives that you can get on top of that. You might want to check on the Ram website.
We've
Okay.
seen. I will just throw it out there on the 1,500 and 2,500s. We've been seeing upwards of 12% off of MSRP. That includes rebates. With the 3,500, I'm kind of thrown for a loop because I don't think there are as many in inventory as
There wouldn't be, especially a dually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their dealer fee was $576.
Well, that doesn't say. I mean, it's more than what you'd like it to be, but it's less than, for instance, what we see in the state of Florida. So,
Right.
yeah.
Is this the
So,
first
yeah, so I
pass
was
though,
just-
Michael? Is this the first time you've negotiated with them on it?
Yeah, this was so. I had originally put a deposit down on a Laramie, and it wasn't exactly what I wanted. So then there's going to be some add-ons, and the price was going to go up. I kept truck shopping, and then found one in Kentucky and called them to get my deposit back. And then they said, "Well, we'll just build you one, and we can beat their price," because that price was the same thing. It was $109,615 on that one in Kentucky, and I called to get the deposit back from the dealership here in my home state, and they said, "Well, we'll build you one. We can beat it." And so that's what they did. They took 9,000 off of MSRP, and so here we are. I went ahead and did the order with them. There was no haggling. They said, "This is our dealer fee. This is the price. Here you go." And I thought it was pretty good, so I went ahead and did it as far as that goes.
Well, honestly, being the type of truck that you're talking about, I think you did really, really well.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. That's what I was just kind of, I mean, there was no haggling. It was pretty easy. So
Hey, they beat the deal from a dealer out of state because they wanted to keep you as a customer. And like I say, on a 3,500 dually, they're like hen's teeth. They're hard to come by. So to get $9,000 off on one of those, I think you're doing really, really well.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you, Mike. Have a great evening.
Leave a
You too.
review, caredge.com/data. Put the review for that dealership and put your deal in there. Thank you, Mike. All the best. You're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? How can we help?
Hi, my name's Jimmy. I'm from Texas, and I was just wanting to know where you guys see the new car trucks. I just saw Ford Black Widow MSRP was $61,160. Their final, not their final price. I'm sorry. Their price was $111,600 and some change, and then they took $8,000 off, so now it's $103. And this same dealership on another truck said it had $31,000 worth of extras, and now, this truck's got $51,000 worth of extras. And I was just wanting to know if should we all wait for a new truck, or is this just a lump we're going to have to take? And I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
All the best.
I'll let you handle this one, Zach. You look prepared.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dan Man here. Wow, what a deal. Maybe I'm ill-informed. Are Black Widows like a specialty trim? Is this like the AMG of Ford? Is this like the Brabus of Ford? Like, what?
I'm assuming that a Black Widow must be some type of special edition, and then the dealership was charging an additional profit on top of it.
Just 1 second here, caller. Just bear with us for a moment. Yeah, that sounds insane, and so I hope that the market doesn't stay there. Although we've talked about specialty cars tonight. Specialty cars are going to continue to have specialty prices. Hey, you're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? How can we help?
Hi, this is John from California. I'm looking into buying a Ford Transit 2017 and on up. And I'm wondering, what is the better deal, getting new or used? The used seem to go higher than their original sticker price. Do you guys have any thoughts?
Yeah, go for it, Pops.
Well, I was going to say, aren't they having some issues with the new ones as far as production capabilities? Didn't I read somewhere recently where they were cutting back on the Ford Transit van production? There has been an ongoing issue with any of the vans recently. And when I say recently, for like the past 2 years. So yeah, a lot of the older ones are going for MSRP, as much as their original MSRP was. But don't forget, their original MSRP 6 years ago was considerably less than what the MSRP is today. I just in the transit van space, in those type of vehicles, I don't know that there's going to be any good values. Van prices have just been
specified. I was looking more towards the Connect, the smaller version.
Yeah, I just
more hope on the Connect, but still, I think the lack of supply that we've been dealing with for the past 2 years is why used are up. But then there hasn't been this, like, we see all this push for more F-150 Lightnings and more full-size pickup trucks. My dad's spot on. There have been production delays, and I think, I don't want to say cutbacks, but just a lack of interest in producing more transit vans and the Connect as well. I think one of the things that we're seeing is that when there are transits on the ground, they are selling immediately. And if I'm not mistaken, Ford did an order bank last year for 2023. It's like, it might be worth trying to find a dealer that doesn't have a lot of poor reviews around markups and additional fees, and trying to get some sort of order, get in on some sort of order with them for a new one. That's probably the better value, even with MSRPs going up as much as they have, than buying at 2018 or 2019 at more than its original MSRP.
Right. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, we're going to do not disturb just for a quick second here.
You're allowed to do for more than a quick second. Yeah.
We bought a 2500 Transit van in 2020, sold it in 2022 for 50% more. The van
market is just,
yeah, we should do like a van crisis video, because that's truly what it is. Folks want them. because the professionals want them and individuals want them. You just can't find them. And then, yeah, Ford hasn't produced enough of them. But the same thing goes for the ProMaster with Ram and other OEMs as well.
Yeah, there's just been a real shortage of vans for the past 2-3 years. So what's out there is going to be overpriced.
How you doing?
I'm starting to poop out.
You got one more in you?
Yeah.
For all of you who have not been able to get through tonight, this is not just a sales pitch.
Yeah.
It is a sales pitch. This is literally what we do Monday through Saturday. The team, we are off on Sunday. If you go to CarEdge.com, if you have questions about buying a car, get our help. You can sign up for our CarEdge data program. That'll give you a subscription to access all of the data that we look at to help us figure out what a fair price is to buy a vehicle. You can sign up for CarEdge Coach, and you can work with folks like Ashley on our team Monday through Saturday. And you get 3 months access to our team, all the data, plus the team to help you. And if you'd like to sign up for the concierge waitlist, we don't have a full, we don't have like 50 people working on concierge. We do maybe 20 deals a month. Okay, so if you want to get on the wait list for that, we'd be thrilled to potentially help you over there with concierge as well. Not going to spend too much longer on this, but I will share, if you're going to sell a vehicle, get quotes from us. If you're going to finance, get pre-qualified through a credit union. If you're going to buy auto insurance or homeowners, get a quote through us. The extended warranty, use our quotes to negotiate at the dealership. The whole premise behind CarEdge is to simply help you save money and take control of the situation. Dad, hear from Nico, and then we'll go back to the chat. Got an OTD, $21,140. MSRP is $32,415 based on the sticker. Can I trust the sticker? Are there cues I should ask them to make sure it's a good deal? Something sounds off.
Well, I've got some cues to ask. What is it? What year is it? Is it a new car or is it a used car? And no, if it's a new car that's $32,000, you're not buying it for 21 out the door, okay? Because they don't have $13,000 worth of markup in those cars. So there's those questions. What is it? It's hard to answer questions like that when, well, all the information other than the price is missing. But it doesn't sound plausible. And as that old saying goes, if it sounds too good to be true, that's because it is too good to be true.
There's not a single vehicle out there that has, what is that? So 32 to 21, 33% margin in it for them.
Well, wait, but that was out the door. So that would have included fees and everything. So yeah, yeah.
How many accidents has it been in? Yeah. There we go. All right, here we go. We're going to take final phone call of the night. If those of you who like to gamble, this is your moment. Let's see.
There it is.
Hey, you're on with CarEdge. What's your name? Where are you from? And how can we help?
Hi, my name's Karen, and I'm from Ohio. And I was wondering, when you buy a used car from a dealer, what are they happy with as far as what they're making? I mean, would they be happy making $1,000 when they sell a used car, or are they happy making $5,000?
It depends. It depends on a lot of things, and right now, it depends on where they sourced that car from. If it is a new car dealership, and they had to go to the auction to buy the vehicle, they've probably paid too much, and they realize that they can't mark it up as much as they would many of their other used cars. So in some of these cases, the markup could be $500 to $1,000, maybe $1,500. In most cases, the markup's usually somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000. The number of quality used vehicles out there, and when I say quality used vehicles, 2 to 4 year old average mileage vehicles, average mileage or low mileage. Average mileage is considered 15,000 a year. So if it's a 4-year-old vehicle that only has 50,000 miles on it, that would be a very desirable vehicle because it has less than the average amount of miles. That means they're going to have to pay a lot for that vehicle at the auction. And there is a shortage of those type of vehicles for a myriad of reasons. So it as uninformed as my answer sounds, it really does depend on how they source the car, and what type of dealership it is. Are they going to use the overpriced the cars that they overpaid for? Are they going to use those as price leaders to get people in, or was it a trade-in that they traded at a good price that has a high markup on it? It depends, but I would think in today's world, most dealers are probably looking to make at minimum $2,500 to $3,000 on a pre-owned car when they sell it.
Okay, because I have a lease that's up in 3 months, and it's a Honda CRV, and I used all of your tools to
Mhm.
find out. My payout is 20,000, and I'm probably going to land up buying it. That seems to be the best way to go in this market. But I'm watching your videos, and I'm practicing my negotiating skills with this salesperson, just to get better at negotiating because I'm planning not to buy the car. But I went to Carvana and your CarEdge to get a price, and they'll buy it from me for 28,000.
I
And so oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, if you are in, we're in a time where you are in a position that you can take advantage of a time that we've never seen before, which is typically on a lease car. Lease cars are not worth more than what the buyout is, more than what that residual value is. The fact that your payoff is around 20 and your vehicle's worth about 28, there's very few times in your life that you're going to be able to buy something for 30 to 40% below its true market value. And Karen, you know
Yes.
everything about that vehicle. You know how it's been treated. You know how it's been driven. You know whether or not it's been serviced. There isn't anything you don't know about that vehicle. So, with that inside information, if you can buy a $28,000 vehicle today for $20,000, I would tell you would be a fool not to do it.
Oh, I'm definitely going to do it. But it's funny because I'm the salesman just keeps throwing these things at me. And so I'm using what you say, and they wanted to charge me on a new car $999 for a PPS protective and interior and exterior. They were throwing that in and saying I had to pay for that. So, and I'm not buying it, but and I hope he's not watching. So,
Well, how many Karens do you think there might be in Ohio, Karen?
too many.
Okay, so even if he is watching, he probably doesn't know it's you.
Yeah. But, well, thank you very much. And I just saw when I was watching that you have financing too on CarEdge. So I'm planning to look into the financing to pay for the car.
And just so you know, Karen, that's through credit unions. So it
Right.
should be an awesome opportunity to find a great rate. And if for nothing else, you can just negotiate with it. So glad to be able to help. And thank you
Okay.
for being a part of our community.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Yep. You have a great night. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, Pops, we got a couple more comments in the chat here. We had a really thoughtful comment from Stinger Envy come through. Hey, guys, just wanted to tell you I appreciate your infrastructure that you're building for CarEdge. It's probably the best one out there. There with real information, slowly but surely, Stinger Envy. If you've been around with us for the past 3 years, you know it's been not without its starts and stops, but we're all dedicated to the mission. Ashley, thank you for the contribution.
Thank you.
Next 6 to 8 months, do you think the car market will stay the same, be worse, or seem to get better? We have differing opinions on this one, Ashley. I am in the camp that I think it will get better. And I think that prices of vehicles will come down. If you're financing, I still think it'll probably be quite expensive because the interest rate will be high. But I do think that over the next 6 to 8 months, prices for all vehicles, new and used, will be lower than where they are today. Pops?
And Pops is of the opinion that it'll be about the same.
We've got here from Fly Chomper Fly. Thank you for the contribution. Regarding stats on some sales spikes, you should take into account many models are being discounted, so buyers jump. We are seeing that with full-size trucks. We're seeing that with some Mazdas, some Subarus. So I think there are definitely some vehicles where we are seeing increases in sales transactions simply as a result of incentives going back up. The data proves that out. We have seen incentives go from the bottom of, what was it, like 2% of average transaction price back up to 3%. So yeah, the OEMs are starting to do a little bit of work to help incentivize the sale of their vehicles.
Not enough, but a little bit. And as I said the other day, if the MSRPs of these vehicles have gone up 15-20% over the past 3 years, and you can save 5 to 8% to 10, say it's even 10%, you're still 10% above what it would have been 3 years ago. And part of it's attributable to inflation, and part of it is just attributable to the fact that the dealers realized, or the manufacturers realized, that with dealers charging additional dealer markup, that the manufacturers could actually end up asking more, raising their MSRPs on their vehicles. So part of it is just corporate greed. Some of it is inflation, but part of it is indeed corporate greed.
Of course it is. A lot of it is. We
Yes.
had another contribution come through, pops from Rod. Thank you, Rod. Would you recommend an Acura MDX Type S or an Audi Q7? You actually did a video about the MDX versus the Q7 recently. I think you are Team MDX on this one, aren't you?
Well, and all the stats and information from CarEdge pointed to the fact that the MDX was a better value, a better overall value, and costs less over a 5 to 7 year period of time than the Audi does. Audis are nice vehicles. I worked at our Audi store when we had one for some time, but I will tell you that they are not as reliable nor as inexpensive to maintain as an Acura is. So I would tell you that the Q7 is a beautiful vehicle. I would never own one. I would lease one if I were to do one. I would never own one. So if you're looking to buy a vehicle, I think you're better off with the MDX than you would be with the Q7.
I dropped the cost of ownership link in the chat. The Duke keeping us on. Appreciate it, the Duke. I love yours and Brandon's YouTube Ask Anything. And this is going to be for you, Pops, and then I guess one for me. What is the most embarrassing funny story you have about each other? Embarrassing. How embarrassed can we go?
Well, you can't embarrass me. It's impossible. So, but I could embarrass you. I will.
Let's see if I turn as red as your jacket.
What was that?
Let's see if I turn as red as your jacket.
Well, I don't think you will. I will say this: we, as younger people, as we're growing up, we there's a tendency for us to occasionally make some not well thought out decisions. And my son, God bless him, on his third day in college at the University of Pittsburgh, and I can say this because you've written about it, and it's in the public domain. He lived in a dorm that was the athletes' dorm at Pitt, and when you go off to college, it's your opportunity to reinvent yourself. You can be a completely different person than you were in high school. So I don't blame him for wanting to try and get in with the cool kids in school. And so somebody on the floor at the dorm had this idea that maybe they should get some alcohol. And God bless Zachary for volunteering to go pick some up. And he had gotten some advice from a young lady who told him where to go. And she said, they'll overlook don't worry, you go, but if they're closed, don't go anywhere else. They were closed. He didn't listen. He went somewhere else. And he got stopped by the police, and cited. And They took both of his fake IDs because
Hey, do you?
one just wasn't enough.
No, it's because don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm actually now thinking of another moment that we shared together.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed, but you must have also been embarrassed for me because I was in your area. Remember when we went to the York Revolution game? Not the one where we drove around the track as a
Yeah.
because we did this one time. My dad hosted this event through Mini, the dealership. It was they would drive the minis through this minor league baseball stadium. Super cool. There was a different one that we did, Dad, where you, me, Mom, and Dara all went. Remember we sat behind home plate?
Yeah, it was when we were trying to decide whether or not the mini store that I worked for was going to become a sponsor, and whether or not we were going to sign up to sponsor the suite level. Yeah.
What I'm about to say is not in the public domain. It's so funny. So we're watching this baseball game, and I was wearing pants, and it was in the summer.
Yes.
And I was wearing khaki pants.
Yes.
And we were just baking in the sun, and I sweat a lot. Like that's just like who I am. And I remember when we got up to leave. I don't know if you ever knew this. When we got up to leave, my ass, my butt was a different color, man. Like it was khaki had like changed colors because I had sweat so much. So even if you didn't know about that, that was embarrassing, and you should feel embarrassed because I felt embarrassed, and everyone behind us because we were in like the first row of
yeah, they gave us special seating, and they comped us for food, and I'll never forget they would set off a cannon when the home team hit a home run. Oh, do you remember when the cannon was scared the living crap out of all of us? The look on your sister's face was priceless. Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, you don't have any embarrassing stories about me to tell.
No,
good.
Nothing. All right, we've got Chris keeping us on. Chris, thanks. Thoughts on the Lexus GX 460? Is MSRP a good deal? Yes, MSRP on a GX 460 is a good deal. Those things, so like hotcakes, and there's not enough of them. Wasn't it in? Oh no, I'm thinking of the. Oh man, what's the Land Cruiser? Toyota with the Land Cruiser. You can't even get your hands on them. So yeah, the Lexus LX models are very popular as a result. There was one other comment I just want to pull up. Clay wanting to know, is trading my car towards a lease a bad idea? 100% it is, right?
Well, you can trade it. Just ask them for the equity in the form of a check. Okay. Yeah. You do not want to take the equity out of your trade and put it into your lease. All you're doing when you do that is you're lowering the price that the lease company has to pay for the vehicle. If that vehicle, after you've done that, and let's say you had $6,000 or $7,000 worth of equity, if that new lease vehicle gets totaled, well, that $6,000 or $7,000 worth of equity is gone. It's history, never to be seen or heard from again. So the idea on a lease is to put down as little money as possible. In many cases, none is a good number, because you can't get that money back if the vehicle ever gets declared a total loss.
Yeah. All right, I'm getting fact checked on the GX 460. Seems like you can get a couple points under MSRP on a 460. I was just looking one up on the community forum. I also saw Igor's comment here in the chat, and this is what I love about our community: is this a very safe space where everyone can contribute and help. And here's where the community forum becomes super valuable. Here's a deal that George was working on from just a few months ago, and you can see got a deal. It's getting reviewed by Space on our team, and you can see here he ended up getting some feedback. Where was it? 2% off MSRP right now. This was 6 months ago, though, so keep that in mind. Pops, we got a couple folks keeping us on here.
Okay. I'm tired.
I'm tired too, man. But like you told me earlier, the show must go on.
Yes.
Your thoughts on the 2023 Toyota Camry TRD? I know nothing about the Toyota Camry TRD. I know nothing.
That makes two of us. So that $1.99 bought you nothing.
Go watch the Car Care Nut. I'm sure Ahmed's done some work on that.
Either that or ask that very question on our community forum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Don't be sorry. Thanks for keeping us around. Get It Vintage is going to send us out with a quick little jig, but give me 1 second, Dad. We haven't done this in a minute. Just bear with me. Bear with me.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. I'm bearing with you. Okay.
All right, Dad, you know what time it is.
It's good night time.
We'll be back
Yeah.
on Monday
Okay. Yeah.
on the Ray and Zach channel
Yeah.
with news you can use.
Yeah.
We'll be
What
back
time?
Saturday.
Yeah. Will we be back next Saturday night?
Probably.
Well, we got to get up way early the Sunday morning.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
You might see us. You might see us next Saturday night, and then stay tuned, folks. We've got something very special the following week. Anyway, Pops, thanks for making the time for doing this. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Handsome.
I know, but that's music we're able to use. I cleared that one. If we can help you, please go to caredge.com. Tonight has been quite fun. Enjoy your evening, Dad. I'm going to do my best to get home safe.
Yeah, please let me know that you did get home safe. Give Laura a hug and a kiss for me.
Oh, but it's from me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, it's from.
Whatever. No, it's from.
Well, no, because it's a little weird if you're the one.
Give her a kiss on the cheek. Jeez. Okay. And then, yeah, just go home now.
See you guys.
Oh, gosh.